what's in it. Well, according to this, it says plastic toy. Well, I imagine it would be. Although maybe I'm getting lucky and it's made of metal or cassinate or baked earth. Yeah, it's probably plastic. Value, $10. You know what? I think that's a dirty, filthy lie. Anything to save a few bucks. Oh, yes, this is definitely not $10. Bam, bam. Get it the fuck out of it. There we go. Nice little white background. Okay. This is, wow, Boba Fett Star Wars Kit Bashed. Well, I mean Star Wars Kit Bashed Boba Fett. If you recall back in the day, around the time of Star Wars, you had the back of the packages and the front of the packages said that you could send away some UPCs and you could send some cash, and you would end up with a action figure of this Boba Fett, a character not yet in the Star Wars movies, but will be in The Empire Strikes Back. Whatever the hell that was, we didn't know yet. We didn't know how awesome that movie would be. That movie is actually better than every other Star Wars movie ever, shockingly enough. Okay, so what was neat about the packaging back then is that you would have it where when you look at the back of the package, it showed a sticker saying you could get him for free. But what they didn't point out was that when you peel that sticker off, underneath was this guy. Well, close to this guy. And he actually had a rocket-firing backpack. And when you actually get the figure, they took away the rocket-firing mechanism. And he looked quite a bit different. And the reason for that, once again, is Battlestar Galactica. Some brother shot a Cylon Raider, or maybe it was a Colonial Viper missile at his brother. He went and choked on it, and that was the end of it. One kid dead, and toys sucked for decades and decades afterwards. It's kind of like those stupid orange tips they put on the end of toy guns now. But it's like, you know, toys sucked for a long time. I would get Transformers, you know, back in the 80s, 84 and up. And they had missiles, they had launchers, but the springs were missing or really shortened, so all they did was just kind of rest inside the rocket launcher, and you're like, well, this is bullshit. So what me and other kids ended up doing is they would bring their Transformers to me at the lunch table in 7th grade, and I would be there with a bunch of ballpoint pens, and I would do them the service of making it so their Transformers could fire again by putting a good spring in there and filing some things down sometimes. But yeah, for the most part, all you had to do was put a spring in. So anyway, Boba Fett. What these people did is they took the early prototype images, even earlier than the sticker that was on the packaging, and they made the earliest possible Boba Fett representation. Like you can see here, this rocket launcher is actually from one of the Shogun Warrior toys. I'm not sure which one. I think it was the one that was Air. Arrow? Yeah, I think his name was Arrow. I can't remember. Man, it's been too long. Anyway, let's see what he looks like. The funny thing is that parts of him were from C-3PO. Parts of him were from one of the Death Star Squad guys, I believe. He's just kind of a mash of different things. Because, you know, that's how you make prototypes. You take existing characters and you smush them together and get a general idea of what your figure's going to look like. Okay, it comes with a little base here, and on the bottom of the base it says, The Earth. An A1. I don't know what The Earth is. Well, yeah, I know what the Earth is. I just don't understand what the point of that is. Okay, this is kind of nice. They came with a reproduction of his mass-produced gun. It's in black plastic. That's kind of nice. And it comes with 2 missiles. One is closer to the missile that came with the Shogun Warrior launcher. And yeah, it's pretty faithful to it. It's a little bit different, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But it's close. And then they gave this customized one here. Well, most of it's customized. This one looks more like it does in the movie. Yeah, there's a little bit of a sprue mark there, but it's not bad. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Get out his gun. Okay. What do we have here? I don't know what the fuck this is. LUE? Oh, glue. Glue? Why the fuck did this come with glue? I have no idea. I thought it said LUE, Life, the Universe, and Everything, but that's actually, it looks like Elmer's glue. Like, in a tiny little jar? Oh my god, that's so strange. I saw that in the auction, and I didn't understand what I was looking at. It looked like some accessory. But no, certainly enough, it says glue. And I think I see why now. This is the little doinger that goes on Boba Fett's head. The early prototype, oh, I see. They didn't put that on the figure for the simple fact in shipping it would probably get snapped off because it's probably really fragile. And on top of that, the original prototype that you saw on the packaging did not have his doinger on his head. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Like, who doesn't have glue laying around? Did they really have to, like, bother making glue? Okay, let's see what this bastard looks like. Get the fuck out of your little bag. That launcher button. Oh my, look at that shit. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's actually better quality than I thought. I did buy online a Boba Fett figure that was totally clear blue plastic, and that thing was gummy as shit. It was like a gummy worm. It was absolutely fucking terrible. Wow, this is beautiful. They got little lines on his feet. They have white on his, I guess that's a nail file for him doing his nails. I don't know, maybe that's a white chocolate bar or something. I don't know. Okay, on this hand he has a circle. On this hand he has like a blue-black X type deal. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The backpack does not come off, of course, because, you know, it's all a contained unit, but wow, that's pretty impressive, actually. See, as this thing went into production, it got more and more simplified, you know, like, they took away the black lines on the feet, they painted these yellow to go, you know, because it's cheaper to just use that yellow as well, and other color differences and other design differences, you know, it really didn't need all this stuff, and, I mean, what Kenner did finally pop out was a decent action figure, and a very awesome one, and a very notoriously awesome one, but, at the same time, it was still not the one that was on the packaging, and this one even goes further back than the promo that was on the packaging. Like I said, it's actually one that came before everything. So this is like the very first representation of Boba Fett, pretty much. You know, even before kids saw it. One of those things lost to time, and I cannot get that fucker in his head. I'm not even sure if I want to, because I kind of like the unfinished look. Oh, please don't break. Please don't break. You know what? That's a project for another time, but it's kind of in now. You know what? It can go further down, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to do that under a careful, controlled environment when I'm not trying to talk to a fucking camera. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And there's also, from a different seller, I got some stickers that go with this. Here's pretty much the sticker you would see on the front of the packaging. Free Boba Fett with purchase of any 4 Star Wars action figures. That's kind of cool. But yeah, this is the boy here. Now, as for this box that they sent here, this is kind of weird. I never really saw what the mailer box was for Boba Fett, you know, back in the day, but I'm thinking it was nothing like this. And it's funny that they put Kenner on there, even though it's not Kenner, it's a bootlegger, but, you know. So, yeah. That's, Boba Fett. The original Boba Fett. The super original Boba Fett. Man, that is fucking cool. Let's see, did the limbs move okay? Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. After a little wobbling, his leg does move freely, and I can probably go up further, but I am not going to test that. It feels pretty solid, though. I'm not going to lie. This is a damn fine quality figure. I mean, this is nothing like the clear blue one I had. I mean, this is actually really well made. the paint job isn't too bad. I was expecting a lot worse. I mean, it's not perfect, but what is, you know? And he has that rocket firing, of course. Oh, it does indeed fire. Check that shit out. How often? Oh, shit. That one doesn't want to go in. Does it fire? Yeah, it fires. Okay, cool. Shit. Boink. Huh. I'm going to compare him to the rubbery one, just out of curiosity. Okay. Here's something I got on eBay. Unlike this guy, I mean, this guy, he cost money because, well, he is so unique. I mean, he really is. And I'm never going to see anything like that again. So why not just buy it? But when you're waiting for something since 1978 or 79 or whatever year it was, and it's the year 2018, you're going to pay a bit. I dare say that this guy was maybe, oh boy, like, I think he was at a cheap price of like 70 something. Yeah, I mean, that's expected, I suppose. I can't really help that. It is cool. It is definitely cool. What I'm probably going to do is when you have something this special, you don't view it like a normal action figure. You do something stupid with it. Like, I'll probably put it in a frame with, you know, this and with this, and maybe even with this, because that's his original art, you know, on one of the packages. And then I'll probably put the frame into my bathroom, because, you know, taking a shit, looking at action figures, why, it's practically the same thing. Anyway. This guy, this was much cheaper, thank goodness. He was about, I want to say 25 on eBay. And it seemed so cool at the outset of it, but not quite that cool. Okay, so this is the more production version of Boba Fett, actually. In fact, they did take the production guy, and they just turned him clear blue, which is kind of cool. Oh, boy. But immediately, there's problems. Here you go. You put the thing into his backpack, and they didn't use the J slot. There was different different versions of this. They made a J slot as one of the later prototypes because with a J slot, the bar would go down, and then it would move over, and then it would go up a little bit, and that way, little Johnny wouldn't be shooting this into his brother's throat. But that wasn't enough, and they scrapped the whole idea. But this is an earlier version of it where it just barely stays there, and it's really shitty. And look at this missile. It doesn't even have, like, the classic groove tabs on it to make sure it stays in there. I mean, this thing literally just sets inside his backpack. Like, if you turn it upside down, it falls out. You turn the other one upside down, this doesn't fall out. So that's kind of really, really dumb. So, oh, see that? I can't even keep that lever down. So, yeah, you go like this, doink, and it goes flying up in the air, and you lose that missile forever. Okay, but the other problem with this blue guy, I mean, look at what I'm talking about here. It's like a Terry Gilliam animation. There should be, like, you know, some funny music playing while I'm doing this. And it's just gummy. The whole thing's gummy. Like his head, I can actually squish it. And these arms, I'm afraid to move them because when you have something this gummy inside of a hard plastic torso, you know, if you turn that wrong, you are going to shred that shit. You know? Oh, God. You know, I'm not even going to play this. No, I'm not going to do it. God, this arm I can move, but the other one, fuck that shit. So, yeah, he looks kind of cool, but he looks kind of horrible. And he did not come with a gun, I do not believe. In fact, I'm almost sure that he did not. Oh, where'd that missile go? Fuck me. There it is. So, yeah. Blue guy with wobbly dick missile. Look at that. It goes into his body cavity. What the fuck were they thinking? It's like, ooh, I'll just put the missile in. Oops. Now he's got like this big dildo sticking out the back of his... Oh, Jesus. So poorly made. I mean, who knows? Maybe the prototypes were that poorly made, but as far as that, I don't know. I don't think that the early prototypes were even that bad. They probably just really cheaped out or something. L slot. L slot rocket firing Boba Fett replica. Adult collectible, not a toy. Yeah. A new character in Star Wars sequel. A threat to the Rebel Alliance, especially Han Solo. A fearsome interplanetary bounty hunter. Contents: 1 figure, 1 projectile. Do not launch projectile towards face. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually. And here it has a little blue sticker on it for, I guess, for the fact that he's clear blue. So, yeah, that's what we got. We got Boba Fett. Boba Fett. One's good, one's shit. I mean, it was a good design that Kenner came up with, but it just didn't fly. I mean, it was good enough for all the kids back then. But, you know, seeing this is like so much nicer. Although, it would have never come out like this ever, because there's way too many paint apps on it. Way too many. And, yeah, it just was not going to happen. And, you know, it's funny. It's like I paid to get this guy, because he's the earliest Boba Fett figure ever devised. And yet, I still don't have this guy, technically. Because this guy was the version that came right after this one. So this one still doesn't exist. I mean, that's a kind of weird concept, you know. I mean, I'm glad I have this, but, you know, at the same time, there's still a slight hint of wanting that one. But, you know, who knows, maybe 20 years from now, somebody else will come by and go, oh, look, now I've made an even closer one to the one that used to be on the back of the packaging. So, yeah. Actually, now that I look at this is not what it looked like on the back of the card, because here they're using a regular Boba Fett figure, the regular L slot, like this guy. But it's still not this guy. The art the art for this guy used to be here. Yeah, I'll include a screenshot of that probably later. But yeah. Boba Fett. Wobbly neon, or wobbly blue garbage, or, you know, the cool one.